everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So, as you may have heard this week, some big news. Meghan Markle was denied the trademark for archetypes. So, apparently, I mean, try to trademark archetypes. Yeah, so, and as soon as this came out, Meghan, boom, comes out and says, "Oh, Archie and Lilibet were they're prince and princess, and they're baptized with Tyler Perry as the godfather. No royal families attended, although they were invited. So, anyways, whenever a bad story comes out, she wants to cover it up with a positive story. But yeah, big blow to Megan. She cannot trademark archetypes. And I was thinking, they went through this explanation. HG Tutor does a good video about this, and she goes through an explanation on how her and Harry basically wanted to use Arch for everything, or Arc. And HG Tutor pointed out, like, "Hey Archie, how do you like that? You were named after Archwell. You are named after a corporation. Shows how they feel about you." And then I started thinking, well, Megan seems to think she owns Arc. So I was wondering if you really want to, I was thinking of being a bit mischievous here. I said, you know what, if you really want to piss Megan off, everybody should like change the names of their accounts to something that begins with Arch. ARCHE something. So I was looking up all the words that begin with arch, archway, archfoe, archaic. So many words to choose from. Archbishops, archangel. That's a good one. Um, they even have archduchess. Look at this. Archduchess is a word. I didn't know that. Archduchess is a Scrabble word. She's an archduchess. A wife or widow of an archduke or a princess of the former ruling house of Austria. A wife or widow of an archduke. Somebody planning becoming a widow? I'm just saying. Anyways, so everybody change your names to Arc something. So Megan will sue everyone, but she can't because she couldn't trademark archetypes. Maybe we should just all put archetypes in our name. Anyways, just being a little mischievous there. Well, let's take a look at this because it's a blow, and even though it might seem like a little thing, although she just she this is her word. You know what I mean? So like green is her color, arc is her word, right? And then the Express goes through a rundown here, a pretty long article describing how originally, Harry and Meghan's children were not going to have prince and princess, but it's believed that King Charles made some kind of agreement with them with strings attached of some sort, but they don't know what those strings are. Um, and that's how they are going to be able to use prince and princess, basically. So, of course, Harry and Meghan have to, go all over the news with that. Yeah. So, today I just want to look at the archetype issue. So, Harry and Meghan requested, it was really Meghan, trademark archetypes, declined, and the podcast to explore and subvert labels that hold women back. Meghan applied to the U.S. Patent Trade Office in August 2022. Where it says Archwell Audio filed the trademark in March 2022, which would bar anyone else from being able to use it for services connected to podcasts, audio, or visual web services. Oh, everybody has to put archetypes in their names or on demand. So she wanted to bar people from being able to use archetypes in for their, any kind of broadcasting. It says Megan's production company falls under Archwell Foundation banner. Has up to April to respond. Okay, so it's not a final decision. It's been rejected so far, but she can appeal her this decision. So she might be looking to probably bribe them or threaten them or something. Let's see. Is that what she's going to do? Archetypes, unbelievable. Yeah, and she even says in the description here, Megan will speak with historians and experts to uncover the origins of these stereotypes. Stereotypes. That's really what her podcast is about. But we all know because she feels so strongly about the owning the word arc with Archwell and Archie that she calls it archetypes, even though it's not accurate description of what she's talking about. So, anyways, rejected. Let's see what will happen with this. And it obviously bothered her because soon after she held back the story of Prince and Princess just so she could try to plaster it over that story and get people talking about the titles instead. Right? So let's take a look at this. How badly was Megan burned by losing the ability to own the word archetypes? Let's find out. But before I move on, I'll just read this one section here about the final agreement with the titles here, just to be clear. Harry and Meghan referred to Lilibet as princess when announcing the 1-year-old was christened last week. Lilibet, and you notice nobody knew about this christening. All very quiet. There were no pap pictures, although they may have. Of course, Meghan's going to withhold the pictures until she needs to cover up another negative story. Maybe about her lawsuit with Samantha or the archetype being rejected or something else coming up. But anyways, so it says a private ceremony in Montecito in front of 20, 30 people, including Doria Ragland and Godfather Tyler Perry. Source told People magazine there were no royals in attendance, no doubt. Despite this, it's understood that Buckingham Palace will respect the wishes of the Duke and Duchess or the Earl and Countess of Dumbarton to use Prince and Princess titles for Archie and Lilibet, and the royal website will also be updated to reflect their new titles. Yeah, so there you have it. Looks like Charles approved it. And you can read all the details about it in the Express. So you know what? I just went ahead and added archetype into my title. Daily Empress Archetype Tarot here. I have more of a right to archetype because tarot cards are actually archetypal images that we use to tap into our unconscious or the collective unconscious. So, hey, I got more rights to that word than she does. It's also silly, but let's do it because obviously bothers her. So, anyways, how badly is it bothering her? I'm gonna be using the Gilded Tarot. We gotta take a look at this and find out. She obviously bothered her enough to put out that story about her, Montecito christening with Tyler Perry. No doubt. I bet you Oprah was Oprah there. I wonder. See who's really getting along. Because of course, all the details are being withheld as usual. So, anyways, let's take a look at this archetype thing. How badly is that bothering her? I mean, how could she honestly think that she could trademark the word archetype? I mean, really? She's so ridiculous. And having everything start with arc, AR, with arch. I mean, she wants to own everything and name everything Arch. I mean, oh my goodness. Anyways, let's look at this archetype failure of a podcast, which sucks and nobody listens to. Let's find out how she's feeling about losing that trademark so far. Again, it's not a final decision, so she could fight it or somehow try to get it somehow. But let's see. She gonna bully her way into getting that trademark? Let's find out. Already shuffled the cards. I'm gonna split the deck. Let's see. How's it gonna go with Megan trying to get trying to trademark the word archetypes? These two. I mean, the two of them with Harry and his therapy video admitting that he takes drugs and hallucinogens. I mean, it explains a lot. But it's like we're following two drug addicts here. It's getting really tiring and lame. Anyways, I mean, well, yeah. Ay, ay, ay. So, anyways, back to the archetypes. What's her general attitude? Ooh, Ace of Cups reversed. She's very unhappy. Ooh, she's drinking and drugging, probably drinking, at least drinking a lot over this. She is very, very, very unhappy, and I think not only because she isn't getting her way, because she's Megan, Duchess, excuse me, the Countess of Dumbarton. Which she also hates using. And yeah, she's not getting her way, and she thinks that you should be giving her everything. Lovers at the bottom of it, because this is her and Harry's creation. It's Harry lifting Meghan up to the stratosphere, so she finally gets her international. The only reason anyone knows who the Countess of Dumbarton is because of Harry. And she thinks that with Harry lifting her up, she should just get whatever she wants. What Megan wants, Megan gets, right? Oops, not this time. Burn. It's going to get worse and worse with time, I think. But anyways, what's the environment? She's very unhappy and emotional about this. Oh, Queen of Wands. Yeah, because this is her image. This is her future business. This is her business, her Kardashian. This is her Kardashian fantasy that she feels is her, what's going to create cause her to become a billionaire, because we all know she wants to be a Kardashian. She sees herself as a Kardashian type, a Duchess, a royal Kardashian perhaps. And this archetypes and everything with arch in it is, her signature. She feels that this is hers. And she may have even done some kind of hoodoo voodoo to associate herself with this word. I don't know. What's the basis of it? Page of Swords reversed. Oh yeah, she's mad. She's spitting mad. Very bad news. And also, attacking the language is part of the, enemies of the West and the woke brigade. And so it's like this idea that they can do whatever they want with the language and making you accept certain words and not use certain words. Like you can't say fat anymore. They're like removing words from young, children's books and young adult books, and they're really language, very Orwellian, but language. And so her owning this word is, it's like she's perverting the meaning of it. I mean, obviously her podcast has nothing to do with actually archetypes, but this is like the woke nonsense of, well, we do whatever we want and words mean whatever we feel they should mean. And so I do see with the Page of Swords before this like perversion of language and young people as well, and associating with them and trying to influence them. Remember that when Megan with her Archwell, she invites young people to come to her Archwell website and leave their stories, right? Write your stories. How do you feel how things are going? Oh, and by the way, anything you write and post on my Archwell website, I get to copyright and use in any way I choose. So that's partly why these archetypes are so important to her. This archetype word and everything associated with it. It's part of her language war, right? Because I was thinking about it. Monarch is Monarch in there. So as well as arch nemesis. A lot of interesting words with arch in it. So this seems to be her word, and she wants to use it anyway. She feels that she wants to use it as a weapon. She's very angry, and also at the bottom of it all, she's just very angry. So how did she feel? Was she surprised it was rejected? World reversed. Oh yeah, because she's part of the New World Order, right? And she's like, "What? You're rejecting moi? Don't you know who I am? I am the Countess of Dumbarton. How dare you?" Oh yeah, she's surprised. She's like, "Well, don't you know Harry and I are friends with George Soros and Bill Gates? What do you think this is? What do you think you are?" Oh yeah, she is not happy at all at this rejection. But again, it's not a final rejection. So we something else going on here. For anyone else, it would have been a final rejection. It's absolutely absurd and ridiculous that she tries to copyright this word or trademark it. But this word is hers. She feels that this word is her. They're rejecting her, and she's getting very angry about it, very upset. So what's she expecting to do about it? Is she going to give it up and choose a new name, or is she going to fight it tooth and nail? Does she really need another battle here? Page of Wands reversed. So she's going to, of course, try to suppress the story in the media, which we have already seen she's doing with the children pages. Um, yeah, information here as well with pages, how she wants to spread her information and her perverse viewpoint on life, inflicting it on people, her bizarre podcasts. I mean, HG Tudor brought up the fact that reminded me of that podcast she did with Mariah Carey when Megan was like, "Oh, diva's a dirty word. You should never use it. It's so offensive." And Mariah Carey's like, "I don't care. Who cares? You're a diva." And then Megan was like, she was so offended that she had to rush back after the interview was over, and Mariah was not happy at the end of the interview. She's like, "This interview sucked," basically. And so she hung up, and then Megan rushes back to the studio to add her narration to it and say, "Well, actually, I think Mariah meant it as a compliment, so it's okay." It was so funny. It was like it showed how stupid Megan is. But the thing is, the not funny thing is that Megan is trying to take words and expressions and portray them as negative when they're not. She's trying to control the language and redefine things. And I get this and this is what the wokesters and the enemies of the West are doing. The enemy, global predators, they're distorting our language. This is very Orwellian. They distort the language. And this archetypes is all about that. Everything Megan does with this podcast, from what I recall, is that she's taken a word and she's giving you her definition of it. And whatever Megan's definition is the right one, because that's what she feels is right. And this is the demoralization of America the Russian uh, uh, whistleblower, I can't remember his name now, but he's on YouTube, described how you demoralize a country and destroy a country, and the top way to do it is you force people, the population, to believe in your perception or in lies, right? So whatever you perceive to be true, that's the truth, and you have to accept it because that's what this person perceives. So it's kind of that way with certain transgender issues. If you perceive yourself as such, everyone has to accept it, right? And so Megan's doing this with language and saying, well, I perceive diva as a bad word, so you have to accept it. So it's a part of that game. It's all part of that woke destroying the Western world game. And she's, of course, influencing young people. Okay, so what does she afraid of or not want with this situation? Knight of Pentacles. Well, she certainly doesn't want to pay anymore. She doesn't want another fight, you know. She just wanted this given to her, and she doesn't want to wait long either. I'll tell you what. She doesn't want to sit back and wait for things to happen. What does she want? What does she want? Uh-huh, Three of Pentacles. The expert. So, I mean, she's still intent on this being the shingle she puts outside of her, door here. This is like Megan putting up archetypes, arc well, arc this, arc that. So she still intends on using this, getting it, and even if she can't trademark it, but she does want it to be her thing, and she wants the word to be hers. She wants to own it, and she wants to be seen as an expert because of it. This somehow is going to be, again, leading to her Kardashian expertise of everything arch, right? How is the Patent and Trade Office affecting her right now? Oh, Five of Pentacles. Well, she's very unhappy with them, and she looks down on them, and she's um, obviously thinks poorly of them, and yeah, but she doesn't seem like she feels like as if she doesn't respect their authority. But I was expecting like a major arcana here because you're dealing with a uh, major organization here. It should they control whether or not you can trademark it. But Megan's just like, ugh, those peasants, they're disrespecting me. Disrespectful peasants. Just you wait till we take your land away. And you have nothing. I'll give you nothing. So she looks down, and then Megan sees herself as a globalist, as she's totally embraced and enmeshed herself into the global predator mindset. So she sees the patent office as these peasants who aren't doing their jobs correctly. And they probably want a few more so yeah, so she's obviously not happy with them. Probably thinks they're not doing their job correctly. They don't know she's the Countess of Dumbarton. Who do you think you are? Uh, so what's she gonna do next? What's she gonna do next? Ooh, Knight of Swords. Yeah, she's gonna fight it. She's got the sword out. She's going after. She's gonna sick Harry on them. Is what she's gonna do. She's gonna be having Harry call, and she's probably gonna be trying to use her royal connection somehow. But definitely Harry. She's gonna be fighting back here and filing that paperwork and saying, "I should be able to trademark this. This is my word. Archetypes is my word. Mine, 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 mine." And there was somebody else I think it was in the Philippines. Do you remember this? There was someone in the Philippines who is also using, before Megan started this whole arch thing, someone in the Philippines had already started a company called Archwell, I believe, and Megan sued them. She actually sued this poor little company. I mean, they weren't a huge company; they're small. Megan sued them for the name. So she's very litigious and determined with this word and this arc madness of hers. So she is going to fight it. She is going to file again. She's going to try to get it. Yeah, she's not going to sit back and wait. She's going to fight, 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 and she's going to blather about it in the long term. Oh, bam. Yeah, I don't think she's going to get it. I think the patent office is coming back and saying, not happening. Not happening. Countess of Dumbarton, we're sorry to inform you that you're not getting it because it's crazy and stupid, and so are you. So that is what I have for you today. Megan's going to continue fighting this as well as several other battles at the same time. She's going to lose. I'm predicting she's going to lose this one because she is a mess. Anyways, that is what I have for you today. So I hope you enjoyed this. If so, please like and subscribe. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye bye.